Hang on a minute. Is that chocolate dipped in salsa? Oh, go on then.
Hello, beautifuls. Welcome back to my Chanel. And welcome back to one of the most unhinged weight loss shows that's ever made it to television, Fat Families.
Oh, dear God.
Fat Families was a very dark time in British TV history, shall we say. I actually find it almost hysterical just how completely deranged this show is. It's one of those things where you hear a clip or you see a snapshot from it and you're like, how? How did this happen? Isn't that right, Biscuit? Isn't that right? Should we body shame you today? Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Far Too Fluffy.
How dare you?
This show basically made body shaming on trend. It was produced by Sky One and it ran from 2010 to 2012, I believe. But the host did in fact go on to host a second series based around this show called Fat Families Second Helpings. Isn't that hateful? Rather hateful. As always, my loves, I do actually want to let you guys know that I am still on a weight loss journey myself, a weight management chronicle, shall we say. That's right, Biscuit. Since 2019, I've managed to lose just over 27% of my total body weight through carefully considered diet and an amount of exercise. The reason why I bring this up is because I don't think that at the start of my journey, I would have ever reacted positively through having a man come into my life and be like, "Oh, you're a massive fatty, aren't you? Oh, you're a massive fatty, treadmill in the living room."
Mr. and Mrs. Massive Fatty.
I honestly do not believe that that would have produced anywhere near sustainable, considered results. And with that being said, Biscuit, are you ready for a top comment from the last episode of Fat Families, my love? I know I am. And that is by Hex Girl, and they say, learning that Steve has had weight loss surgery and didn't lose any weight by eating less and moving more really makes his smug superiority make much more sense. And I agree, Biscuit, I agree. And if you think for a split second that, oh my gosh, Steve has had a change of heart since this television show was made, you would be mistaken, because currently he makes content like this on the internet.
Massive fatty muffin alert! 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 SOS, 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 SOS. Massive fatty muffin alert! Massive fatty muffin alert! Massive fatty muffin alert! Massive fatty muffin alert!
Now, my loves, sometimes I do have the intrusive thoughts when I sit here at my desk making these videos thinking, is this content? Am I having a positive impact on the digital world? Am I making content? And then I come across something like that and I'm just like, do you know what? I'm doing absolutely fine. Okay, my lovelies, make sure you're sitting comfortably. Pop your little hanger right into your "this should never have been produced" hole, and let's sink our teeth into some of the worst unhinged television ever made. Fat Families Volume 3.
I really want to lose 3 pounds. Take off your makeup.
I don't think I'm ever going to get over in my life. Massive fatty muffin alert. Oh, punch my pavlova. No. Do you know, I haven't said the word pavlova in about 15 years. In the last couple of weeks, because so many of these shows have involved pavlova, it's in my zeitgeist now. I'm just like, oh, you want to show me your pavlova?
I hate you. I'm going home.
Must text that to my boyfriend. Right, oh, pizza. I do love pizza and donuts. Just perhaps not 8 pizzas a day. Maybe, you know. Oh, God,
In this
music.
show, I'm about to
Oh.
meet the biggest bunch of blokes that I've ever set eyes on.
Biggest bunch of
These
blokes?
fatties haven't seen their feet for years. Well, prepare yourself, boys. The belly buster's in
I
town.
thought he was going to say the bell end is here.
Meet the Jeapes family. Dad,
right,
Ron,
okay.
and his 3 sons, Alan, Mark, and Daniel.
Oh, God, here we
A
go.
fighting fit foursome with
Are you ready for the
perfectly
noise?
proportioned physiques. Wrong. They actually look like this. This fat family collectively weighs in at a scale-smashing 76
Oh, aren't they
stone.
jovial?
And they're showing no signs of...
I always forget every single time the POV of, like, you're a piece of food about to be eaten. To be honest, to me, it doesn't really matter what kind of person you are. I don't really want to watch you eating. It is interesting, however, that this is going to be like an all-male episode, because we don't often see a lot of just pure male content here on the Chanel, my loves.
I'm calling the police.
I will say body type and body image is very specific for men. In fact, actually, I would almost hazard a guess and say in some instances, the world of body image is almost more misandrist than misogynist. Only in certain circumstances, though, I'm going to say, my lovelies. I mean, it's bad for everyone, let's be honest. But there is a strange, masculinity around, not eating healthy. And that is a cultivated culture of Britain, basically. you'll quite often see, I don't know, for example, like this man here.
Who wants a fucking burger?
Like, I'm sure he feels very masculine screaming that. I don't feel like he would feel the same if he was like, who wants a fucking Caesar salad, girl? I don't think he would feel the same. There's definitely a masculinity around food advertisement that's almost like fast food, nutritionally void food, like, is a manly thing somehow? I don't know. If you know what I mean, though, you'll know what I mean. Okay.
These big belly bachelors live together in their dad's pad in Eastbourne.
Big belly batties.
They
Eastbourne?
exist on processed food and takeaways, cramming in mammoth mouthfuls of junk food every day.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I love a profiterole. But my goodness me, did they have to desaturate that so much so it looked like worms? Absolutely not. No, thank you. Do you know, these shows are going to give me food repulsion. I've said it before. Gonna say it again. Junk food, everything like this, it's actually okay to eat. Like, as long as you are being considerate about it. Like, I love profiteroles. I could not eat a... What did we see in... I was gonna say Lady and the Tramp. No, what was it, Ladette to Lady, where they tried to build a profiterole tower and she called it a croquembouilliers. I can't remember what it was called. But, like, I couldn't eat a whole one of those every day because that's gonna make me feel very... rubbish. And I'm not about trying to make my brain and body feel rubbish. I try to just make better quality of life choices, and it's hard. And sometimes I do just want to have 78 profiteroles in a row. And you know what? I can do that. Just have to remember not to eat the entire stick of butter later that day.
I'm going to cream.
Sometimes there's only one way for that excess food left to go.
I have sometimes eaten to the point where I am physically sick.
And there's one big fat
That,
reason.
to me, says there's something going on there. You know, doing something constantly until you are physically sick is like binging, isn't it? Which is a symptom of something else. Maybe that's like peer pressure to be like, I'm the most manly, look at me swallow all this spaghetti, girls.
Spaghetti.
Can you imagine throwing up spaghetti? I don't think I've ever had the chance, but I don't really want to, thank you. Thank you for the invitation to your party. I will not be RSVPing.
And why these four have become big fat boys.
We are most definitely lazy. If it involves more than 100 yards of walking, it's not worth doing.
But a lovely walk in the
The
park.
junk food Jeeps have been
lovely.
packing in a belly-busting
Pack it in.
23,000 calories a day between them. That's
Goodness
enough to
me.
sustain 9 average-sized men. Mark is 26 and is the fattest of the family, weighing in at a very scary 23 stone.
Oh my goodness, I am taller. I'm gonna say though, anyone here who's ever had like addiction issues, where regardless of what that is that you've become unhealthily obsessed with, shall we say, sometimes the brain doesn't want to survive. Sometimes it's very, very loud. It's very difficult sometimes when you're by yourself, at home, alone, and your brain is being so loud about something, like your thought process is being so loud about like, you don't really want to do that. None of your friends like you. You don't want to go for a nice walk and see the sunshine and feel some sunshine on your body. You don't want to see a nice plant, maybe see a cute dog on a lead having a walk somewhere. You don't want to see all that. You just want to sit indoors, don't you? And take your substance, whatever that is. We have to remember that when that nasty little black cloud comes in, we have to go, no, stop it, how dare you, and beat it away with a fly swat.
Put you in my oven!
Double is recommended weight.
Okay.
I am fed up of being fat. I'm fed up with being teased everywhere I go. Now is the time for change.
It's very
Ron is
interesting
54
pose.
and should weigh around 11 stone. But Big Ron tips the scales at a whopping
Big
21
Ron.
stone.
See, the thing is, there's also like power in being large for a man, if that makes sense. So like a lot of male culture is about being like as big as possible, regardless of if that's like go to the gym, become as big as possible, eat as much as you want, become as big as possible, because there is this real like negative aspect towards thin men. So I bet the fact that the narrator here has said, oh, that's Big Ron, yeah, Big Ron, blah, blah, blah. I wonder if perhaps in his life, other people have said to him, oh yeah, you're Big Ron. And maybe there's a sense of like dopamine response, like, yeah, I'm Big Ron. And that in itself is another like unpacking element of quality of life choices.
I need a kick up the rear end to go out and lose weight.
Right, okay, so
I can't.
because he said rear end, production was like,
Oh, go on, do a twerk for us, girlie.
thanks, Pfizer.
Lose weight on my own. I need constant help to do that.
Yes.
Ron
okay.
tragically lost his wife to cancer 19 years ago.
Oh,
and it was
gosh.
then that his weight began to increase.
Oh, grief is
I was
horrible.
left
isn't
alone
it?
with the boys. and I started eating, and it all ballooned from there.
Alan is the eldest son, and at 15 stone 11, he's also the slimmest. But he's still carrying an excess of almost 4 stone.
We all know we're overweight and we all know we need to lose the weight. It's just we've got no motivation at all.
At 21, Daniel is the baby of the bunch. He should weigh a maximum of 11.5 stone. But Jeapes Jr. is stomping in at a hefty 17 stone 5.
This is one of those things, though, isn't it, where clearly the environment that they're living in is not serving them to make better quality of life choices. It's the same aspect of what we saw from the last episode of Super Size versus Super Skinny. And although there was like conflict within that, the kind of final message was that a lot of like undertaking a journey requires community effort. It requires you to like be honest with yourself and honest with those around you, but also in a way, invite other people to help you along the way, and then you can provide help for them. A community aspect. I think this works the other way as well. If you are around people that are perhaps not having your best interests at heart, it becomes very hard for yourself to see those best interests for yourself. And it becomes even harder to make those choices. I'm actually 2 years sober this month on the 30th of April, and I'm incredibly proud of myself. But I know that when I was back in my, like, let's just say indulgent drinking days, if I was going out of an evening and I was to be spotted without an alcoholic beverage, people I would be around would be like, "You're not drinking then? You're not drinking, are you not? Are you not drinking? Why aren't you drinking? Why don't you have a drink? Go on, have a drink." And you can say no to these people as many times as you want. But if they're really good friends and they're in your life all the time, it becomes very hard. And you have to also add an extra barrier in then of, oh, I have to separate myself from this group, as well as myself and my negativity to make better quality of life choices. And I know it's not exactly fair to say you're judged by the company you keep, but I have found that to be the case for myself quite a lot. And to take a darker route of explanation for why I say that, if I come across a group of new people and one of them is really transphobic, or two of them are really transphobic, and I'm quite good friends with one of them, I would be like, so you're indulging in this as well by being around it? Then I need to remove myself from the situation. It's all about personal choices, isn't it? Like personal accountability alongside community assistance.
I will struggle to lose weight. I like nice food. Nice food is unhealthy, unfortunately. Salad is not nice, nor are vegetables.
But for vegetables are delicious. You just need to have them not cooked in a British way, which is to boil the life out of them and serve them as a grey sludge. Roast broccoli, Parmesan shavings, and aubergine gratin. Gorgeous. Served with a roast asparagus starter. Oh, get in all of my holes. No, stop. I do actually also want to point out what you said there was, I like nice food, and nice food is unhealthy. No, that is your brain going, you like junk food because it produces a chemical reaction. And it is a difference in your brain of telling yourself, do I like this food because it's nice, or do I like this food because it's sugar?
Daniel, time to lose weight is running out. He's had a heart condition since birth and is now in desperate need of a life-saving operation.
Oh, gosh.
But at his current weight, the surgery is too risky.
Oh,
Daniel is at crisis point.
The doctors have said that if I have the operation now, there's an 85% chance I won't actually survive. It is a choice.
Oh, my goodness. So there's like another medical aspect to this.
I won't actually survive. It is a choice between life and death, basically.
Diet and death.
I'm Steve Miller. I have a successful history of turning massive fatties into slim gyms.
Do you though? You say this every time, but we have yet to see any proof.
Invited me and my straight-talking style into their lives.
Straight.
Over the next 10 weeks, I'll be cutting these boys down to size before any of them suffer any real heartbreak.
He looks like a character from Team America.
I'll be giving them the tools to melt the fat, but first I need to get in there and find out what I'm up against with my own eyes.
Why is he in a marina? Why is he like, hello everybody, welcome to the boat?
And for the whole day I'll be living by their rules.
Okay.
And eating exactly what they eat.
Okay.
And by the look of breakfast, I've got my work cut out.
Now, I know this is probably going to sound really, really ignorant, but as someone of my persuasion, I don't think I would like to go and spend like a week living with 4 very like British men. I don't think I would enjoy that experience.
That is a whopper.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Clover, don't tell Rolly.
How many slices of bacon do you put on that roll?
8.
A full pack.
A full pack. A full pack of bacon on that, and it goes in, no problem
The
at all.
salt level.
This is unbelievable. One of those jumbo
Unbelievable.
Jeep sarnies clocks up a colossal 1,250 calories.
Oh dear.
That's half the number of calories a man should eat in a whole day. And it's only 10 o'clock in the morning.
Your breakfast is served, sir.
Well, when in Rome, whilst I get my chops around a Jeep's bumper bacon butty...
Oh, he's done that a few times.
How serious these boys really are about shedding the stones.
Do you want to lose weight, guys?
I need to lose weight in the next 3 months, otherwise I could lose my job. Bus drivers have to be under 20 stone. And I had a meeting with the boss. He says you either lose the weight or you will be suspended. If you can't lose the weight during your suspension, you will be sacked.
So why do you think you've not been able to lose the weight in the past?
We always do seem to make excuses, and unfortunately now we've run out of excuses.
I'm not really hearing a lot of delusion so far, and earlier in the episode I said that a lot of it is related to like masculinity. I haven't heard them say anything yet. I mean, early days, we're only 5 minutes into the episode. They might say something. Again, it's one of these things we're hearing people say, I need help and I can't do it by myself. And as much as I love the NHS, regardless of what our current government has done to it over the last 15 years, when you go in for like weight loss help at the NHS, at your first port of call, which is your GP, it's not about community. It's very, you need to do this, go off and do it. There's no aspect of like self-preservation, self-congratulation. There's no expectation of a journey.
It's shocking news about Ron's job, but even more worrying is the effect on Daniel's health.
Look at that
I want to
top.
get him on his own and find out more.
Daniel, tell me about the heart condition.
I have a
marina.
leaky valve. It's
got a leaky
caused
valve.
my heart, every time it leaks, to swell up to twice the size it should be. I know somewhere down the line I have to have the operation to remove it. The problem is the doctor has said at my current weight, the odds are 85% chance you're not going to survive it.
I mean, that's quite a shocking thing to hear.
It
When
is.
you heard that, why didn't you just stop eating junk food straight away?
The simple answer is I'm lazy. I'm lazy and I won't go and do it, get off my own bum and do it myself.
Well, that was a really useful little snapshot moment there, wasn't it? That the production would have been like, what a great, wonderful soundbite. We'll use that forever. Oh, here we
Back
go.
in the house, it's time for Sunday lunch, Jeep style. And that means junk food,
Why are we-
beer and football.
Oh, I see. Oh, is this the match?
And as I'm living by their rules for the day,
Steve.
I've got to tuck in the family way. Hang on a minute. Is that chocolate dipped in salsa? Oh, go on then.
Can I get away with that? Is that all right? No, good.
Oh, goodness me, girlies.
It's
No, we're not doing
incredible.
that.
During the game, each of these boys shovels in a family-sized bag of tortilla chips, a full pot of
the sound
salsa
of
dip,
that.
a
It's so
family-sized
England.
bar of chocolate, and 4 bottles of beer. That's enough to sustain an average-sized woman for 2 whole days.
Oh, dear.
Each of these boys is scoffing it in just 90 minutes.
You can't just put one of these in your mouth. You've got to get a nice big handful.
Mark might be proud of his slobbish lifestyle, but I want to find out if there's also a serious side to it.
Is he proud?
Is your weight affecting your health in any way?
I went to the doctors recently for a checkup, and the doctor basically said that if I don't change my lifestyle and if I don't lose weight, I'm more than likely to have a heart attack before I'm 30, and I will struggle to live past 35. I'm 26 years old now, so what they're basically saying is I've got 9 years left unless I make some drastic changes.
It's dinner time, but for all they know...
Goodness, a lot of it also, I think, is that men find it very difficult to ask for help. Nowadays, I think it might be a little bit different with the aspect of social media, and almost community-driven aspects can be found easier online, especially, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, in the concept of, like, the maxing community, you know, the people that do like skin maxing, look maxing, body maxing, all those sorts of things. It's basically like looking after yourself, but it has to be rebranded in a masculine way. Otherwise it feels like emasculating to these people. Do you know what? That's fine. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. I know that's very easy for me to say, but I've lived on the outside my entire life. And if I worried for a single second about what other people were going to think of me, people that I had nothing invested in, I would not be here right now. 1 million views a month. Transsexual woman on the go. One of the most watched trans women on YouTube. Would never have had a degree. Would never have moved to London. Would never have got plastic surgery. Don't let expectation cloud your vision for yourself.
this could be their last supper.
That's chips for you and Daniel.
Oh, don't joke about that.
Because
I mean,
it's not working.
I've got a dark sense of humour. I like to joke about death, but also read the room, sis. If I was friends with someone who was terminally unwell, I would not be like, death.
She's dead to you now. She's dead. They're dead.
He's dead.
Because he's dead.
He's already dead.
A dead body.
We're gonna die.
You're gonna die up there.
Lady Gaga. Die. I can't wait to die.
Nice to see you. To see you. Death.
Read the room.
Because he's not working at the moment, Alan's left to do most of the cooking. So tonight, I'm giving him a hand.
What would happen to the guy?
Oh,
with the
gays in the
guys if they got
kitchen.
in and you had, you know...
You want to come sit on my lap? Should we put you in the oven? Yes, oven roast biscuit. Ah, delicious. How yummy. Far too fluffy.
They got in and you had, you know, a massive
How would
salad.
they react?
Or loads of fruit and veg.
It would probably be best if I wasn't at home if I'd done that. And then I'd leave before they get home. So they wouldn't take so well to that.
This is absolutely horrifying. 6 packets of cream cheese and a slab of butter mashed up inside 6 jacket potatoes.
Oh my
and that's
goodness.
just for Ron and Mark.
It's also very expensive.
Gigantic ribeye steaks each. Your dinner.
When I was a meat eater, I did like a ribeye.
Served. Alan's
Ribeye?
having a double portion
Sirloin.
of chicken fried rice, while
Biscuit.
Daniel and I have a family...
Did you hear steak and now you're getting all excited? Is that what it is? Those ears must be for decoration because you can't hear what I'm saying, can you? No. Purposefully ignoring mummy? Yes.
size meal of fried chicken and a mountain of chips. Give
Chicken and
me
chips?
strength.
That's very British.
The average man needs 2,500 calories a day, but this dinner alone clocks up a colossal 4,000 calories. Bringing today...
Sorry, did you just put Marmite on steak? No.
I've soiled my tunic.
The meme of this is almost actually correct. Like, Britain invaded half the world, took all the spices from everywhere, and then didn't learn to cook. British food is so beige and devoid of health. It's like, boil your vegetables for 4 hours and serve it on a beige, floury beige.
Today's grand total to a monumental 9,250 calories each. That's enough to keep the average
Holy
man going
crap.
for 4 days.
A 10,000 calorie meal. Wow. That sounds like a YouTube challenge.
Right, that's it.
We're not
I've
doing
seen
burpee
enough.
ladies.
Can I throw mine away?
No, you can't.
Behave yourself.
No, you
God.
can't.
This is a Jeep's gangle.
If you just leave that on the side, I'll stick that in the oven, and that will just be eaten later.
Right, I'm off out to throw this in the bin.
Do you see, though? Do you see how the almost like peer pressure aspect of like, you're going to leave something on your plate, naughty, naughty. I'm of the opinion we should never teach children to finish their plate. They should finish when they're full. And I know it's difficult to say that. I know it's like, oh, but then what if a child doesn't eat anything? Allow them. Allow them to eat a little bit later. 3 square meals a day of a certain number, blah-de-blah-de-blah, is such archaic way of thinking. Humans don't fit nicely into these little routines and boxes. Humans are complicated mammals.
Oh, I promise I'll put a bit of tin foil. What a day. I've spent
what a
all
day.
day living life their way, and wasn't that an experience?
He's been so insulting, he's eaten his lips.
But from now on, these guys,
wig.
they're going to start doing things my way, and it won't be long before they know I mean business.
Do you know, have you noticed though, he's being a bit nicer to these men than he has been at all to the women we've seen previously. I wonder. Punch my pussy!
I'm Steve Miller, a no-nonsense fat buster, and I'm on a mission...
I mean, you are full of nonsense, really, because you had a gastric band surgery and aren't telling
So
anyone
far,
that
I've
that's an
spent a
option.
day living by their rules, but for the next week, these boys will be living by mine.
And
but
I'll
first,
make them wear
I
a
need
blue
to get
shirt.
them motivated. They've been in denial for far too long, so I've set up 3 shock tactics.
All right, okay, here we go. You ready? Oh, he mugged her.
The Jeepes boys rarely, if ever, look at themselves in a full-length mirror and have no idea just how massive they really are.
I don't think we need all these shots,
So I'm going
do
to
we?
make them face up to it. I'm giving them a close-up look at their bodies from every angle.
Describe to me what's going through your mind.
This is like
Angry
body
with myself,
horror.
really.
Shocking, isn't
Actually,
it?
I'm quite angry that I've let myself get this big.
Quite disgusted, actually. I can't believe that's actually me.
What home truths does it bring?
That I'm a lot bigger than I thought I was, actually.
That is actually very scary, isn't it?
I think also a lot of these men might be vitamin D deficient.
That's humongous. I didn't realise it was that big. Look at that. If my wife had been alive to see this, she'd kick me from one end of this studio to another.
I need to lose weight. That's just unacceptable. It needs to be sorted out. It needs to be sorted out now. Can't believe it.
So I will say, I do think shock tactics do in some way have an effect on the way that people can achieve an outcome. I don't think shaming does, and this television show is all about shaming. At least in every episode we've seen so far. However, in this one, he seems to be holding back a bit. I don't know if he perhaps feels a little bit intimidated, or just gonna say it, maybe a bit misogynistic.
Can't believe what I've done to myself.
I've definitely got to make some huge changes.
You all right?
Yeah, you sure?
Why is he smiling at him? Like, are you sure? Cry on camera, go on. You wanted to leave, or you can't? Oh, mugged.
They are starting to get the idea, but I don't think they realise the true scale of the problem. It's time for my second wake-up call.
Right, what's
I've
that?
worked out how big each of the boys will be in 5 years'
matter.
time if they continue to cram in
it.
as many calories.
I don't want to
and
see
it
this
makes
bit. Stop
frightening
it.
viewing. Daniel could gain at least another 7 stone. Ron could be 9.5 stone heavier.
If what?
Alan could pile on a further 11 stone. And Mark has the potential to fatten up by more than 15 stone, bringing him to a life-threatening 38 stone.
Gosh. And that's 241 kilos. Can a human get that? That seems unrealistic. But again, I do really honestly believe that there is some sort of hormonal aspect to this, because let's just say you're like Mrs. Happy Lady, perfectly average in every way. I feel like if you had hormone levels in an average range that controlled hunger and your full feeling, you would never be able to actively reach that level of excess weight gain, because your body would stop. It would just go, no, we can't do this. So why aren't we investigating the root of, like, why this is happening rather than punishment? I don't know.
This is really serious. In 5 years' time, that image represents exactly what you're going to look like.
5 year shocking
And that is, of
moment.
course, if you make 5 years, this is serious stuff. I'm seeing you...
Serious, but we are going to put a balloon noise on it.
Right?
I don't want to be that big. It's not going to happen.
I may not even be standing there to look like that in 5 years' time. I don't think any of us could survive at the sizes that we're seeing up there, and at the end of the day, 5 years is not a long time at all.
I look at that picture of Daniel and I come up with two things. One, he won't have his operation, and two, I could be burying my son in the next 5 years. Reality, that is.
Now I'm getting somewhere.
Oh, not
but to
any
make sure
woman.
these guys really understand how serious the problem
Oh
already
god, right, what's the
is,
third? God,
I've got
it's like going and seeing one of those, what is it, like the ghosts of junk food past, present and future.
Mary loves dick.
one final shot.
Ebenezer good.
I'm taking them for a series of intense
An
medical
ECG.
tests under the watchful eye of consultant weight loss surgeon,
pregnant.
Mr. Chris Pring.
Well, we're looking for a few things, really. We're looking for evidence
He
of...
looks like
is
a
there any-
no-nonsense Labour
Looking for a few
MP.
things, really. We're looking for evidence of, is there any diabetes there? We're looking for cholesterol levels,
Okay.
because the wrong diet will lead to people having the wrong sort of cholesterol.
That's
and
true.
that, in turn, will lead to arterial disease.
When I was in university for my biochemistry degree, there was only one lecture that I found that I was like, this is too much. I absolutely cannot be here for this. I feel faint and sickly and disgusting. It's not the sight of blood. It's not describing all these horrendous diseases. It's not learning about parasites and some of the most horrific things that happen to the human body through parasite infection. It's foam cells. Ugh, even thinking about them makes me feel viscerally upset. This new conversation about like microplastics in blood vessels as well kind of triggers a similar sort of response. Foam cells, hateful. If you fancy looking them up and finding out what a foam cell is and how it like affects the body, feel free to, my loves, but be warned.
The Jeapes boys are being subjected
blood.
to a
Yes, I
battery
had
of
mine done
tests
yesterday.
that will prove to them just how much damage their disastrous diet is doing to their bodies. And Ron's results are the first in.
Right.
So Ron,
Come on,
your blood
Ronathy.
pressure's very high. You've got diabetes and your cholesterol levels are also high. You have all of the ingredients to produce a potential heart attack or a potential stroke.
Did he know
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the healthiest I can be and 10 being dead, what am I on?
I'd say, Ron, for your age, you're at about 7.
What? 7? That is just like a as though somebody just kicked me in the guts and had another go whilst I'm down on the ground. You know, that's
Mind
just
you, he's
astonishing.
54 years old. 54 years old with like unregulated health conditions is a frightening statistic. It's a frightening thought, isn't it?
Alan may be the thinnest, but his results still have a sting in the tail.
Alan's body mass index is 32. By definition, that means that Alan is obese.
Does that surprise you guys? Because I know you've always described Alan as the thin one. And
Wait,
actually,
32?
he's obese.
It does a bit, actually, yeah.
Welcome to the Fat Club.
Welcome to the Fat Guys.
See, there's that aspect again of like, welcome to the Fat Club. Like,
This is no laughing matter. Doctors have already told the
know
biggest of
he's
the family,
diabetic?
Mark, that he's in danger of a heart attack before he reaches 30. And the tests reveal another shocking home truth.
59 kilograms of your total body weight is fat. That's the equivalent weight of a two-seater sofa.
Bloody hell. That's unbelievable.
that's a lot of excess. That's a lot of excess weight to be carrying around with you, isn't it? Like, your body would be under so much pressure anyway. Imagine putting on a backpack of nearly 60 kilos every day and just like going about your life. Makes it hard, makes every aspect of your life a lot harder. So for context here, earlier the doctor said that the other guy had a BMI of 32. My BMI, when I was at my heaviest, I don't really believe in BMI. I think it's a really fast way to give a number, a vague number to indicate a vague issue for a population of people or a single person. It doesn't really give you any more information about the person. It also doesn't take into account like how muscular you can be or any of that. My BMI when I was at my heaviest was 34. So I was very much classed as obese. And you could have given me all the shock tactics, you could have given me all the shame tactics. It wouldn't have changed anything in my life. I had to get myself to my own mental capacity to be like, now I'm being encouraged and I'm in a good positive place and I'm making those changes. And it was hard. It's not easy. It's not. It really isn't.
If I'm carrying around a sofa every day.
Like, just being told what to do is not easy.
Does it shock you to the point where you're now thinking, I've got to do something about it?
Oh, I've definitely got to do something about this now. I'm gobsmacked. I've definitely got to do something.
Last in the firing line is the youngest member of the family, Daniel.
Daniel!
We know that you have these documented heart problems. The only way we can treat that successfully and really minimise the risk of any operation is to get you to lose weight first.
What would happen if Daniel didn't lose the weight and the operation went ahead?
Well, the risks for the operation are significantly increased at his body mass index.
So would they not, they just wouldn't do it?
I really feel for Daniel, but I hope this is the shot they all need to get themselves motivated.
Can you hear how nice he's being in this narration of this episode? Do you remember in the last episode he was like, well, she needs to take her bumbling bumhouse bumbling.
No, he wears a wig.
The difference here, if I'd just seen this episode in my entire life, up to so far I'd be like, yeah, he's a bit problematic, but so far he's quite nice. If I hadn't have had the context of how he's treated everyone we've seen up until here.
You just don't think about it when you're pumping all the junk inside you. You don't think about the stark reality that in later life, you could, even in younger life, you could make yourself.
But what I'd say to you all is that you've taken the first step, which is recognising that it's an issue.
That is the first step of anything, isn't it?
There's something we can do about it.
The first step of battling an addiction is admitting you have a problem. Of course, the problem with something like food addiction is that you can't just cut it out cold turkey from your life forever, unlike other things. Unfortunately, you need food to survive, so forever you're going to have that temptation.
This family are now in no doubt about how serious the situation is, and for the rest of the
No
week
doubt
I'll be
when.
showing them my life-changing as well as life-saving techniques. My first fat buster is incredibly simple.
He's being so
I'm getting
nice.
them off their bottoms and onto their feet. These boys have got to start moving. As we're in Eastbourne, I'm taking them out on the promenade.
I've been there.
All they have to do is walk to the pier.
They've got an
It's only
LFK.
1 mile, so I'm not putting up with
EFK.
any excuses.
So do you walk often, Mark?
Not as often as I should do, no. Probably once a week, if that.
It's got to start happening, mate. So look, we're nearly there.
That's longer than a mile, I keep telling you. My body's telling me it's longer.
Put out that whinge. It's a mile, and you'll be up to 2 miles before you know it.
Yeah.
The way they carry on, you'd think it was a marathon.
I'm actually quite fascinated by this section because one of the ways that I started my weight loss journey was A, counting my calories, making sure that I was eating a sensible amount and not too much, but also walking. Walking was such a big thing in my life. Like, I'm not a huge person who loves running. I don't really like to break like a profuse sweat. I know you've got to raise your heart rate. I know you've got to get a little bit sweaty, a little bit juicy. I know that. So walking is a great way of adding in extra movement into your daily life, if of course it is healthy for you to do so and you are capable of doing so. One of the ways that I actually managed to do it for myself was I found a route that I really liked doing that was quite, what's the word? Private, actually. I'm not really a huge fan of having loads of people watch me. Don't really like that. I'm not actually a very attention-seeking person, despite what you might think of my online persona. I really enjoy having my own time, my own free time, my own free personality, like away from people and things and stuff. I started listening to a great collection of audiobooks, and I would walk to and from this beautiful park that I used to live near to, and that actually changed my life. At first, it started off being like a 40-minute walk, 45-minute walk. And as I progressed and as I really got into my audiobooks as well, I found myself going, oh, if I go an hour and a half there and an hour and a half back, that gives me a 3-hour walk, which is a really, really big one. Maybe I'll do it at the weekend, but it gives me 3 hours to listen to this audiobook that I'm really enjoying. It's kind of like trying to retrain your brain to give yourself rewards for achieving little things rather than just taking the easy option for the fastest reward. It's difficult. It is difficult, but it can be done.
Guys, we're here.
Hey, that's right.
Give yourself a little treat, a little reward. It's like a reward. It's spawned here.
Now they've taken their first steps, I want them to agree to take regular walks.
Now, for a starter, I want you to do a mile a day. Once you've done your mile, don't have a problem with you getting the bus home. But after that, as you build up, you've done a mile for so long, you can then start to stretch it to 1.5 miles, 2 miles, and even more.
He's being so nice.
What are you thinking, Ron? You're looking at me with one of them Ron looks.
OK, I'll give it a shot.
Too right you will, Ron, and it starts right now. These big lads are coming down to the beach with me for my next new rule.
Oh, God, what's
I've
this?
devised my own seaside
Skinny
game
dipping.
to help these porkers perfect their portion size.
Okay,
I'm
right, we've
about
had
to
our
bring
first
them face to
porkers.
face with the huge difference between what they are currently cramming
Who's
in
eating
and the
lasagna
amount
on the
they should
beach?
be eating.
I want you to tell me, at the moment, in total honesty, which portion you eat.
The lighting is so bad on this. The plates are so overexposed. The first one just looks like a dog turd.
That one at the end.
Oh.
On the end there.
A single portion of
Maybe
lasagna.
a little bit more if we could probably fit it on.
No, I'd probably have that one and that one together.
At this moment in time, guys, that doesn't really surprise me when you say that. Looking at what you've been eating, which one should you eat?
Yeah, I'm hazarding a guess to say that one there.
I'm going to go with that one because it's not. That one's a little bit too small, actually. I've got to say that one actually.
That's like
Because
twice
you can
the
dot some
size.
salad around the side.
It's actually this one.
That one?
This is the recommended portion size. So can you just pass that down and take a good look at it for me? That's the one I want you to have.
Take one lasagna, pass it on.
Look at it there.
It may not look very big to them, but it all depends on the size of your plate. Big plates mean big portions,
That's
but
true.
not for much longer.
Oh my gosh. Actually, very, very, very interesting point here. During my early, change of life on my weight management journey, I got rid of all of my dinner plates and I only ate from side plates. And it was a psychological thing of, oh, I'm finishing my plate now because the plate will be empty. They're not tiny size plates like this, but they're also not dinner plates. They're somewhere in the middle, like a medium size. And you'd be surprised just how much your brain will go, oh, I've finished now, actually. When if you'd had a bigger plate with lots more on it, your brain could go, oh, I need to finish all the more. Psychology, girls.
I've got a little surprise
Crockery
for them.
smashed. Oh, right.
Do you
Oh,
recognise
Greek.
these plates,
Upper.
guys?
Smash.
They're our plates. They're from our flat.
Now, are you willing to smash the past?
Yeah, all right then.
Yeah? Are we going for
I was
it?
going to say, are you ready to smash your pasty?
Smash.
Means something different. What is that? Red rolls. A coconut! Oh, win your prizes, go at the pier. Oh, it's getting very violent behaviour. Oh, God. What if that was actually like a priceless Ming vase? Worthless?
Yes.
Priceless.
OK, guys, you've smashed your plates where you used to pile the food on. And for
you
the
have-
next 12
haven't
weeks,
just
all I want you to
abandoned that on
do
the
is
beach.
use this plate that I'm going to give you. This will help you learn portion control.
These special plates divide meals into carbs, protein and vegetables.
Special
will help
plates?
the boys stick to the recommended amounts.
The meat's got to fit there.
Come take a little bit of doing.
What
for
piece
us.
of meat am I supposed to squeeze into that little corner there?
Half a beef burger.
Yeah, but you could sort of stand it up.
You can't make a tower of beef burgers.
If you cheat, you will stay fat. It is as simple as that. I know this is going to be difficult at first, guys, but this is about your weight loss, and you've got to learn portion control. By using this tool, you will get that control, and you will manage your portions much more effectively than you have done in the past.
Is this the first time we've actually seen him provide a tool that isn't just let me shame you into losing weight?
Can you see what it says? It says,
Like, we haven't seen a portion size plate before, have we? Also, does this take into consideration what each of these men's calorie requirement is per day? I guess it probably doesn't. The whole point of a journey like this is to introduce things at a good enough pace that you don't shock your body, but also you can give your brain time to adjust to your new life. Diets don't have an end date. Diets are forever, which is why I find it very odd that people say things like, I'm going on a diet, because they've been fed an idea that, I don't know, from magazines or television or something, that you go on a diet and then you come off and you go back to normal. No, you need to completely change your life. And a complete life change doesn't happen like this. You don't wake up and say, life change! It's one of those things that happens incrementally if you decide it for yourself.
You've got a family that's used to piling their food onto big plates, and it's going to be difficult, but we're all determined to do it. And I'll tell you what, if they don't do it, I'll be kicking them where it hurts.
Good.
Not anymore.
Right.
By
Oh,
swapping their saggy old sofas for
Swap
two
their sofa for a
state-of-the-art
gym.
cycling machines, I want to make sure there are
VR
no more
cycling,
excuses to
wow.
stay fat.
VR?
Guys, can I reveal your new lounge?
Oh my God!
It's like I walked into a gym.
That's,
Isn't it? Where am I supposed to sit?
Well, I don't know, Mark. Perhaps on the bikes I've provided for you. If these guys are serious about
his sassiness starting to come out when they're not in the room.
they might as well start now.
He's in. He's in, he's in, he's in. Race begins in literally 5 seconds. You're going to be racing against each other, burning
Is
loads
this
of
VR?
calories. Off you go.
Virtual reality? I guess it is a
The
virtual
best chance
reality.
of getting these boys up off their behinds is to tap into their sense of competition. They all absolutely hate being beaten, and I just need to make sure that goes for weight loss too.
Oh, I'm
and it
very
seems like it's
competitive.
working.
Who's winning? Come on, Ron, you're miles behind.
Oh, no! Oh, no!
I can see this getting very competitive.
Yes.
Oh, gee,
Injure yourself.
Fantastic. I tell you what, guys, let's stop it there for the minute. Are you all right, Ron?
These are the best things that anybody has ever given us. Look at the state of me. I get just as wet as this going in the shower. Wouldn't touch me if I was you. I'm dripping.
I don't care.
I'm
You
dripping.
deserve it.
As well as the bike, I've brought in a dining table.
AstroTurf.
The only time I want them to slow down is when they're eating. Taking time over
Oh,
their food
they
should
don't
help
have a
them eat.
dining table. Interesting. I find that I snack more if I'm sitting on the sofa and just sort of like distractedly watching something.
But I've saved the most radical change for the fridge. Where once there was butter, snacks and mountains of chocolate, now there's just fresh, healthy food.
Oh.
That's a lot of great.
Oh, peppers. I do love a
I
pepper.
want you to start eating this sort of stuff.
Sweet bell pepper.
That's a lot of green.
The problem is these junkaholics have never learned what fresh food tastes like.
Okay.
So I'm sending Alan and Mark off to learn how to cook something healthy.
That is a bit of a danger. That is a bit of a danger, actually. There was an expose done on children who lived in central London. One of their teachers asked them where they think fruit and vegetables came from. And they said Tesco. They didn't really realise that they have to grow in the ground and then be harvested. They thought that they just happened in Tesco. And these were like 6 or 7-year-old kids. So I'm not hugely surprised that they don't perhaps understand everything that the world works. But you'd think that, you know, the plant cycle would be pretty understandable by that age. But also fresh, healthy food is not going to taste anywhere near as good as something that's artificially designed to give your body like a...
Jesus was seen.
Meanwhile, I want to convince
Grits
Daniel
and
and Ron
bits.
that vegetables actually taste good.
Now, I've noticed there is no fruit and veg in your diets at all, so I've brought you here to introduce you to vegetables. What I want you to do, first of all, is to pop on The mask.
Oh God,
The
you're gonna
sight
mug
of
this
something
woman.
green on their plate
This is a
will probably
heist.
send these
Give me
two
all your
into shock.
sausages.
If they can't see the food, they might
Right, what's
like
this?
it.
Roast leeks?
First up, the leek.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, that is...
Not into roast leeks?
No, it's nice.
Oh, it's not actually.
I've tasted something like this before. Is it? No, it's not a parsnip, is it?
No.
I love a parsnip.
Can I have a drink?
Has it made you feel sick?
It does make me feel quite... Yeah.
Does it? Do I need to get you some water?
Can I just have some water
Let me
or
just
something?
get you some water. Hang
Yeah,
on
all
a
right.
minute. If I can't get Daniel to eat a leek without feeling sick, I'm in real trouble. I hope Alan and Mark.
Maybe
are
there's a
getting on
reason
better.
why.
Right, we've got these ingredients here. Have you any idea what we've got here?
Chicken. Yeah, that one definitely chicken.
That's chicken breast, yes. No fat on there whatsoever.
That I'm hazarding to guess is prawns.
That's correct.
Tiger prawns. I haven't the foggiest one.
Squid.
That is.
This,
Squid?
maybe if
Ooh.
I unravel that, it'll give you more of a clue.
Squid.
Squid, well done. So have you had squid before? No,
I did
Alan?
once.
You did once?
Yeah.
OK. Well, let's see if we can convert you this afternoon then.
Not likely. No, that's what I'm thinking, but I'm always happy to try things once.
OK, good.
Today I want them to learn how to cook a stir fry as an alternative to all those takeaways.
Right.
I'm hoping that a bit of competition will spur them on.
Sperm.
Oh, shut up.
Right, mind the steam coming off it now.
Oh, fizzy biscuities.
Enjoying yourself there, Mark? Very much so. Which surprised me, considering I'm cooking with fresh vegetables. Surprised me that you're actually cooking, let alone with fresh vegetables. Oh, hush up.
Okay.
A little flick.
Bit of banter.
Whoa, very good.
I bet you couldn't eat all this healthy food.
Whoa.
Well, I'll show you.
At least those two are having fun.
Oh.
But Daniel still needs more convincing.
Slashed his pancake.
Surely a tender courgette will win him over.
Oh, no. I know what that is. I'm going to tell you straight away.
What's that?
That's a parsnip, isn't it?
I might as well give up now.
No.
Let's hope the squid goes down better.
No bias now.
Take my more of Alan's, but here we go.
Squid, chicken and prawn. Squid, chicken and prawn?
You know what, Alan, that's not bad. No, nor is this, Mark. I'm impressed. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm now a lover of squid.
Squid, chicken and prawn in one dish. That seems
Is this something you
rather
think you're going to be
excessive.
cooking at home then?
For something to cook at home?
Brilliant.
Yes,
I love it.
definitely, yes.
Super.
The low-fat dinner has passed the taste test, but on the other side of town, I'm still struggling.
Not really about low fat, is it? It's about low sugar.
No, I didn't think you'd like that.
Oh.
I can't believe this. Daniel's in urgent need of a heart-op. He needs to lose weight more than any of them, and I can't get him to eat an everyday vegetable. With this attitude, these guys could stay fat
Could be
forever.
a texture thing. If it's a texture thing, that's indicative of perhaps neurodivergent.
It's my last few hours with the boys,
Aw.
but I've got a few final weapons in the war on fat. Here we have the Jeapes' family fat
The
busting
dossier.
plan. And in here you'll find details of your nutrition and your new exercise regime.
Okay.
I'm worried about
We've
their
seen this
commitment,
before.
so I'm giving them GPS trackers and activity monitors.
Right.
They'll tell me where they are, what they're up to, and how many calories they're burning every day.
Burning.
And if you look up there, you will see a camera that I have access to 24/7, so I will know exactly
I
what
would
you four boys are
never.
doing. Can I make one request though? Keep your underpants on.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's all you like, isn't it? Pussy.
Half their portion sizes, and I've got these guys exercising.
Right.
But now it's over to them, and I'm only interested in results. I am not interested in excuses. It's time for these guys to start pulling their chubby fingers out.
Oh, God. Out of where?
It's hot.
Hello!
Back in Eastbourne, the Jeepes boys are off to a rocky start.
Right, the Jeepes.
We're in week 1, and I'm bloody starving.
I've hardly eaten. I feel lethargic.
I'm starting to go to bed very, very hungry, waking up very hungry, and not being able to do a huge amount about it.
I don't know why I agreed to do this. I have no energy. I have no strength at all.
This is not... You shouldn't feel like lethargic and ill.
So hungry at the moment.
Eating
Come
till
on,
you're
boys,
absolutely
put some
bursting
effort
full
in.
is
What
not
I've asked them to do is not difficult.
natural,
Every
I
day
say?
they must eat 3 healthy meals, 2
what
healthy
is
snacks,
that?
and do at least 30 minutes
Boil
of
it.
vigorous exercise. This way
Let's
they
just
should
stop
reach
boiling
a target
things.
loss of £3 a week each.
Right.
But by week 2,
£3 a week?
the Jumbo Jeeps have already slowed right down. And they're definitely spending more time on the sofa than they should. Time for me to step in with an emergency conference call.
He's going to send an angry letter to the post office.
I'm getting apart from you, Ron, is that none of you are doing vigorous exercise, and you should be doing at least 30 minutes of vigorous exercise a day. Mark.
Steve.
Why is it last Saturday that the data tells me that you clocked up 1 minute of activity in 24 hours?
Because I had a day off.
Last Wednesday, you managed to do just 11 minutes of activity for the whole day.
I'm trying to exercise every day, but I'm working a 9-to-5 job. I'm exercising pretty much every evening when I get the chance. I need a day off.
Body gets
Otherwise,
exhausted.
I am just going to get fed up with exercising, and I'm just going to refuse to do it.
1 minute in a day is not good enough. Can we agree?
Oh, but you could, yeah, I don't know. A day off from exercise is like normal, I guess, if you're looking at it from a point of like perhaps a fitness enthusiast, somebody who actively wants to build their body or to train for something. Muscles are only built at rest. However, if you're trying to manage your body, management techniques shouldn't really ever have a day off as such. You just have less management than other management days.
That every day you will do some form of decent, intense physical activity.
I can agree that I will try, but I need at least 1 day off. I'm sorry, I'm going to argue this point. I need at least 1 day away from treadmills, away from walking, but I can just sit by myself.
You can huff and puff, guys, but there's only one thing I'm interested in, and that's a result. Might not be popular in the Jeepes house now, but getting tough is obviously the only way to get this fat for to lose those pounds.
It appears to
There is a level of, I don't think delusion is settling in, but there's a level of resistance, shall we say. It's not really deluded just yet. We haven't quite overstepped the line into like, oh, this person is clearly deranged. We're having a moment here of like resistance where it's like, oh, this journey, perhaps the realization of the journey that needs to be undertaken is perhaps a bit much, rather than looking at it as just 1 day at a time. I know how absolutely cliche that sounds, but it really does make a difference. Once you get a day behind you, the weeks adds up.
By week 3, the Lardy lads have transformed themselves into dedicated
Lardy
athletes.
lads. Not the eye
Mark
of the
is now
tiger.
getting up at 6
The eye of the
a.m.
wig.
every day to do a 2-mile walk.
6 a.m. walk. You could never get me to do that. An after-dinner walk is perfectly fine.
Join the gym.
Right, so am I being led to believe that you've fixed the issue?
Yup.
All done.
Is that a vegetable I see on your plate?
What is it? Celery?
By week 4, Mark has lost over a stone and Alan has lost 12 pounds. These are fantastic results, but they still have another
That's
6
a lot,
weeks
isn't
to
it? 4
go.
pounds a week. 2
Can
pounds a
these
week.
boys keep it up for the long haul?
Don't eat that! I'm stealing it from you, Thornton's witch!
Mark has fallen
What
down the
happened to
stairs
Mark?
and sprained his ankle.
Fall down the stairs.
Can't exercise. My doctor's told me to stay off my foot completely. I can't move from the sofa. I can't get up and down the stairs. I can't do anything.
With a setback like this making him sofa
Falling
bound,
down the
I'm
stairs.
worried that
Oh,
Mark
awful.
is going to return to his old habits and fail to lose any more weight. And by week 8, it seems the others aren't moving much either. Only good old Ron is sticking at it. I'm concerned they won't meet my £3 a week weight loss target.
Interesting. Diet is more about your weight management than almost anything else, really. So you can still manage your weight by diet alone with minimal exercise. Eggs!
It's been 10 weeks since I
10
first
weeks.
met the
Okay,
boys,
so what's
and
that?
today is our last day
Two and a half months,
I've arranged
girls.
an A-list makeover for them at a
Oh,
top Chelsea
back at the
salon.
Hacienda. Makeover. Oh, the swan.
Now, my vision for you,
A
we're going to
redhead.
take this quite short and bring it across, and then I'm just going to chip into this.
We're going to put hair extensions in. You're really flat-chested. The Empire line.
The main reason for bringing them here, though, is to weigh them for the final time.
Oh, right, here we go.
I'm really
Final
hoping
weigh-in,
they pulled it
girlies.
off, but first I want to see if they look any slimmer.
I think that's it. That's the one, Alan.
Excellent, thank you.
Have they achieved the transformation we're all so desperate for? First out, head of the household, Ron!
Ronald! Ronathy!
Brilliant, mate. You look really good. How you doing?
Emerging from the hairdresser's cupboard. Okay,
One,
right.
2, 3. Take a look.
Is he going to have a nice result? Oh.
Is that the bizzo or what?
Is this a new chapter?
Is that the bizzo?
In your life?
It is. It's turning a page. I don't want to forget the past.
Well, if this was 2010 and he was 54, he would now be 68.
Making myself too big. I want to turn that page over and start rebuilding my life. Maybe find somebody, maybe find a bit of love, a bit of care.
The injured soldier Mark's up next.
Hey, I'm good, you?
Oh,
good. You
the
looking
Matrix.
good. I felt good, mate. See ya.
Oh, she's got a quick.
Look at that.
Well,
You like it?
Smartest I have ever looked in my life. This is the first time I've actually wanted to look at myself in the mirror.
Really?
Yes,
feels
when
quite
you look
good.
nice, you
I
feel
feel
nice.
fantastic. I've never felt so good.
And the good news continues with eldest son Alan.
Look at that. What do you think?
Alanis Morissette.
I look good.
I like the
Love it.
teal
Do
tie.
you feel
That's
you've
quite
lost inches
unusual. I
around
haven't
the
seen a
waist?
teal-coloured tie.
Because all my trousers keep falling down on me now.
Oh dear,
Losing
revealing in the
weight,
park.
How's it affected your life generally?
It's been a massive confidence boost since this all started. I've got more confidence. I've gone out and got myself a job now.
You got a job?
Yeah, I got off my
She's an
backside and
employed
got myself a
queen.
job.
Booked and
Mate,
blessed.
that is just brilliant.
Yep.
These boys have really turned it round. I can't wait to
Turn
see
it
Daniel.
around.
Here's the boy.
Oh.
Mate.
He's got cheekbones.
Look at
Oh,
this.
that's a real transformation.
Amazing. You look fresh. You're definitely trimmed up. You look more confident.
Daniel
you look absolutely
the
fantastic.
guy that might have to have an operation?
I feel so much better. So much better than myself. So much better than what I used to wear. Amazing.
I don't know
And it's
why,
actually
but these outfits are giving very like grassroots political science. Poli-sci, the community centre.
Me a career change.
What's
Career
that all
change?
about?
Well, I decided recently that I'd go down the route of personal training.
Oh,
You
a
are
woman.
kidding me.
Right, I'm going to lose the rest of the weight that I've
Training them
got.
personally.
Bulk my muscles up a little bit, and I'm going to go personal training instead.
But the
IFBB
most
Pro.
remarkable news for Daniel came when he went to see his surgeon recently about his impending heart operation.
With this weight loss, you're probably going to be able to put it off at least a few years and possibly many years.
Oh, wow.
As long as you can maintain the weight loss.
Gone from needing an operation to not needing.
Not the words you were expecting when you came in today.
This is fantastic
That's the
news.
best kind of healthcare you can have, isn't it? Preventative healthcare.
Daniel has totally turned
Daniel.
his health around.
Right. So
Before
what's
the
the
big
tea?
weigh-in,
What's the tea?
I
Where are
want
the
to
tea
know what they
girls?
think
Where
of
are
each
they?
other's new look.
What do you think of these guys, mate?
It's truly amazing. Really is amazing. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Do you notice a difference in these three guys from 10 weeks ago?
You can see the weight everybody's lost. It's... wow.
Was it difficult?
Very.
The beginning was exceptionally tough. We were on a high one day, we were on a low the next day, and changing our portion sizes as well as adding the exercise in as well. It was very, very tough.
It is a roller coaster. A weight management journey like this is a roller coaster.
Together, and we all did it together.
You must be really proud.
I am. I stand here a bit choked because of the fact these are my boys. I still consider them my children.
Yeah, he's a proud
I'll tell you
papa.
what, I think their mother would have been proud of them today. She really would have been. But, yeah.
All of us.
Yeah.
I
You as
hope
well.
my mum is
You know how she would have felt.
Oh,
Tell
yeah.
you that now.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of them too.
Tell
But
them
how
then.
much weight have they actually lost? First up, Ron, who'd been told he could lose his job as a bus driver because, how do I put this, he was almost too fat to fit on the new seat.
Dear.
10 weeks ago, he weighed 21 stone, 4 pounds.
You now weigh... 19 stones, 10 pounds.
Oh, she's a woman
With a
after
total
all.
weight loss of 1 stone 8 pounds, Ron has slipped below 20 stone. He'll be behind the wheel of the number 99 for years yet.
Brian
Next to
Barnett.
step forward is baby of the bunch, Daniel.
Und
It's
Babage.
great news about the hardtop, but he
Daniel.
needs to keep that weight off. When we first met, he was 17 stone 5 pounds.
You now weigh... 15 stone, 8 pounds.
Well done.
In losing a fantastic 1 stone 11 pounds, Daniel
In
has
just
really turned things
12
around.
weeks as well.
He's even lost 7 inches off his waist.
7 inches, goodness me.
What a difference. He looks truly amazing. Mark's next.
Unsure about the outfit, but there we go. It was a different time.
His doctor had told him he might have just 9 years to live.
I mean,
Because
that's
10
quite
weeks ago,
shocking, isn't
he
it?
was a scary 23 stone.
That's
Now
very
weigh
TV as well.
21 stone 3 pounds, mate.
Brilliant. He's lost a total of 1 stone 11 pounds,
the same.
despite suffering an ankle injury along the
Yes,
way.
that's true, see? Minimal, even with minimal.
Finally,
a
it's
management
Alan's
committee.
turn. Have all those healthy meals he's been
Alan.
cooking paid off? When we first met, he weighed 15 stone 11 pounds.
You now weigh 14 stone 9 pounds.
Well done, well done.
By shedding 1 stone 2 pounds, Alan is well on his way to being a healthy weight.
This is all quite impressive. I hope this is sustainable for them all.
These
Complete
lads
lifestyle
have lost a fantastic
changes.
total of 6 stone 4 pounds. I couldn't be more delighted. If they're going to
Champagne!
continue losing weight and keep it off forever, they must stick to the lifestyle changes they've made.
Yes, it is. It is
Do you
a
know
completely
what?
different lifestyle.
I think they'll do it.
Oh. Oh. Rule the world? Well, there we go, girl. Your fault, Steve Miller, girlies. Well, what a departure from what we've seen previously in this show, my lovelies. I don't know how I feel about this one, because it felt like a much more positive outcome, a much more positive representation of what a weight management journey can look like. However, it kind of pulls into question then how he's treated some of the other families and some of the other people that have been on this show previously. Because Steve here was a lot nicer to these guys. He was a lot less insulting, a lot less like, you need to get off your wobbly wobble with wobbles. He was actually quite like approachable and pleasant. As I said, if I just saw this section or a section from this specific episode, and that was all I saw, I would have been like, yeah, it's a bit of a problematic show, but kind of got results in the end, didn't he? Whereas previously, I've come away from the episode being like, that what a horrible assault on the senses that was. Some really interesting points were brought up on this show, and I think a lot of it is about prevention rather than cure. So with Daniel and the need for his heart surgery, the idea that then a doctor said that actually the surgery could be postponed for years because you might not actually need it now is almost like best case scenario outcome, right? If you need a life-saving surgery and you can make a journey that doesn't need such drastic action for your body in order to produce a good outcome, if you can take that route, you should. And I actually think that that is a really responsible piece of television, which we haven't seen a lot from any other show, and you hardly ever see me say that we've seen an example on reality TV shows from Britain 10, 15 years ago about a really good outcome and a good piece of advice for people to follow. Gosh, my lovelies. Well, let me know what you think about what we've seen in today's episode of Fat Families, my loves, because, I don't know, confliction, positive, negative, little bit of all of it. And with that, my loves, it's time for the Patreons. You can see yourselves scrolling past on the screen right here. Yes, you can. I am also delighted to say that we have a bunch of brand new Patreons. I want to say a massive hello and welcome to Jess, Rhonda Marshall, Coffee Fueled Siren Queen, Sulky Karras, Bunny, Mitchell Gross, Dizit Cret, Mason, Jenny Wood, Ryan P, Jennifer Lewis, Alicia Williams, Julianne Lange, Unicorn Tulip, and Hannah Ruth. Today's Instagram shout out goes to 3 Karras. Thank you so much for following me over on Instagram. You're stunning woman on the go. And if you want to be in with a chance of being featured in my next video's Instagram shout out, make sure you follow me on Instagram. The QR code is on the screen right here. Once again, I want to say a massive thank you to my top tier Patreons. Orkos Samoji, Ari Adia X, Becky Johnson, Beebles32, Cameron Pittman, Shell Herman, ContraPoints, Emily Worsham, Eric Castillo, Finch Dunham, Hannah Ruth, Jen Martin, Jenny Wood, Caitlin Wright, Larissa Says Relax, Leanne Jones, Lenore, Les Banana, Mo Sherman, Ms. Kiss, Novembrix, Paula Rivera, Rye Loves Rory, Sky Dorim, Steph Utek, Taylor Martin, and Vicky Walsh. And you know what, my lovelies? I think I'm going to leave it on the notes of, if you have a food texture aversion, something like that, Try not to boil your vegetables. Try them roasted. You might actually like them. I can't imagine eating boiled peas and sweet corn with boiled carrots, but roast asparagus, aubergine, and parsnip. Delicious, my lovelies. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.